And then ask you the same question. You could just state your first, last name, titles, ranks, and your dates and places of service.
My name is Corporal Monica Lynch. I was in the United States Marine Corps from 1990 to 1994. I served in Desert Storm and I went to Japan my last year of service.
Perfect. Thank you. First question. How did you find the camaraderie and interactions with fellow service members?
When I served, everything was great. We were getting ready to go to war. So everybody was a little bit scared and they leaned on each other. So everybody was one big family. But as I got overseas, things changed quickly because a lot of the men were more or less babies. They really needed somebody to listen to them and to know that they was gonna be okay, or this is not the end. We're here together. You got me. I'm with you. And even other units, when we go and we drop off ammo or their food or just water, anything basic needs, those fellow, not Marines, but fellow Navy, Army, because we went to all of them. We served them all. We was on the front line. So they all needed it too. They needed a pick me up. If they received a package and it may have been kids' pictures from home, they was in a fashion show or something. They needed somebody to take the time to look at them and to, just oh, that's your daughter, that's your son. Everything's okay at home, so they can still feel good and do their duty.
So good. Thank you. What was the most impactful moment during your military service?
For me, it was graduation day. I graduated around the 4th of July, and it brought on a sense of pride that was just unbelievable. To this day, if you hear different tunes or musical selections, you just see the flag being raised. It brings so much glory to your heart because that's something that you know that you achieved, that you gave your heart and soul to. And if nobody else want to appreciate it, I did something for everybody else that I see that don't know me. So I look up to it and I feel great.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What resources were available to you upon returning home? And were they sufficient to meet your needs?
At the time, they were sufficient, but I had to go out and do some recon of my own. I went to the VA and I made sure that they were going to test me for PTSD or, just to talk to somebody and tell me, okay, I just came home. What is your steps? Which, procedures y'all do and so forth. I went to the vet center and they were located on Elmwood at the time, no, Linwood. And they took me in and did a little counseling here and there once a week. And then I went downtown to the Donovan building. They had the New York State Department of Affairs. And so they took me under their wing as well, because within maybe 10 to 11 months of me coming home, I was 24 years old, but I had soft tissue sarcoma. That was a form of cancer, and it was located in a place that was odd. It was wrapped around a nerve in my left arm, and everybody at the VA took me in because it was like I was the youngest soldier, but the youngest person, the youngest period, and they didn't want anything to happen to me. So people that I didn't know, they were praying for me, and they were there when I came out of ICU. And if they seen all of my family, oh, I know Monica's here. She's on this floor, or so-and-so, so-and-so. At the time, they didn't even have telephones in the room. So it was a big step from now to then, but it just, I don't know, the VA just really did a lot for me at that time. The people, the workers, everybody came together, and I just came through with a miracle. I had a doctor came over from Roswell. It took 2 weeks for him to get the clearance from New York State to operate at the VA. Within that time, the cancer had grew 2.5 inches. So I could have cancer came back and went in my lungs, died. And I was, like I said, I was only 24. But the biggest hurdle for everybody was my family was trying to convince me, no matter what, after this surgery, it wasn't that I was going to die. It was that you could just get another arm. We're going to get an amputated arm, whatever. You're going to be here, and that's that. And I had to talk to God and tell myself several times at the VA laying up there, oh, you know what? If I don't come out of this with my arm, it's okay. Because, I'm going to miss not having my arm to see my ring or something for being married. But other than that, I had it. I did a lot with it. I'm grateful. I'm going to be alive. So it wasn't a thing for me about dying. It was just my appearance, how it was going to be, what was my next stage of life. So they sent in about 5, 6 different psychiatrists because I wasn't crying and going crazy. And there's something wrong with you. What's going on? What's going on? With me and God, there is no other. I don't need y'all to talk or be around me when I'm talking to him, but I'm okay. I am very much okay. So, my cancer, everything worked out okay. I've been in remission 30 years now. So I'm good.
Right.
So that absolutely. Thank you.
And I have my arm. It's not empty.
Good. So you talked a little bit about this, but did you find any support networks such as veterans groups or community organizations that helped you during your transition?
Well, the only ones that really helped was the vet center because, like I said, when I had that cancer, they came over actually and sat with me a couple of days when I had to go through chemo and stuff. And then at the vet center downtown, the regional, they actually worked above and beyond. One of the directors, he knew some people from Pennsylvania. So I don't know if they, like I said, they were more scared than I was. So I guess he figured, let's put this through. This girl is 24. She done served her country. Let's make sure that she don't have a lot of headaches and paying bills and everything else when we come out of this. So they probably was just thinking, oh, she only going to be here for a year or two, make her life, pleasant. But they gave me 100%. And I've been dealing with them back and forth for, like I said, the last 30 years. They try to go up and down a couple of things, but I have so many different ratings that no matter what they do, it's still way beyond 100%. If they subtract 1,500 and put something else, it's still going to get me right back where I need to be. So he did everything for me. I even actually outlived him. His name was Bill Wagner. So, I'm thankful. Like I said, a lot of people took the time out to pay attention to me or just notice. I don't know if because I was a woman or I was Black or just because I had came out and I had cancer, but they really did take the time out to, just show me that they appreciated me.
Thank you. So how has your identity as an African American veteran shaped your experiences in both the military and civilian life?
Well, I know that with everything, you have to accept and you have to praise the people that came before you. So when they sent me like down to the Erie Basin Marina, like the second time when I had the cancer, the second year, I didn't have any hair or anything. And they had other women up there and they're talking about, oh, this is not Agent Orange. This is not this. This is not that. They didn't put anything from the sky and y'all didn't have no chemical exposure, nothing. And then I get up there next and I'm saying, okay, well, I don't know what you said or what you don't have, but I know I'm a survivor of cancer and this is my appearance and, I'm doing fine. But there was something because I never smoked a day in my life. I know the oil wells was burning and it was dark in the morning time, like the eclipse. That's how it was all day long. So I know that something went wrong and I didn't have anything to do with it. So if they gave me extra chemicals, extra water, extra something, well, I'm still the prime example of it. And so even though other people say, we're not paying you or we ain't doing this, I still got mine.
Thank you. Thank you. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about or say before we wrapped it up?
Let me think. It's so much. Let me see.
Well, just
Yeah, what's in the back?
fun there.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes, it is. I am actually the first woman of Western New York who has a combat action ribbon. When I was in the Gulf War, I was on the front line for 2.5 days. I rode back POWs in a convoy. And at the time, because it was 1991, I should be the first period around here. But, Congressman Higgins, when he was in, he did give me recognition. I have the flag flown over the Capitol building. And I have 13 ribbons, badges. Let's see. I don't know. It's just it's so much. The experience has just been wonderful, and all I can say is every time I think about the thing that I did go through, it overcomes just gratitude for me. Now, one thing about being racial or prejudiced a little bit, I didn't experience it too much in there, but on my last discharge, 1994, everybody in my unit, we were together. We were a family. We had Thanksgiving. Everything was together. But I was slapped in the face going out. I had to go to California to be discharged from Japan. And somebody, he said, okay, come on, Lynch, come on, you stay with us, you stay with us. Because we family, of course. And they was going home to see their family, and then they were coming back to do another tour. But the next morning, his daughter got up, and when she saw me laying there on the floor asleep, she's like, Dad, Mom, there's a black girl here. There's a black girl here. So, yeah, I was slapped in the face because I'm like, we all a family, but right here in the real United States of America, your family is living something different. Y'all might be Mexican or whatever, but your daughter don't know too much about black people, and she's stunned. She's, what the heck is this black woman doing in this house? So, yeah, even though you hushed her, it was a big, exposure or something to me, because I just never thought that the people that I had shared 3-4 years with was living like this back at home. So even though you may think that the next person is your friend, your neighbor, or something, you just always have to be watchful of what you do and say, because you don't really know people's full intentions.
Absolutely. Thank you. That was powerful.
All right. I could have said something about the Iraqi gas man.
We could really be here for like 4